Hey again, guys. It's me, the Basilisk, in the arena with Miz. Welcome back. We are going to witness an absolute bloodbath here in the form of Hydra Reloaded versus Wormhole Society. Hydra Reloaded bringing a comp we haven't seen today. I think we saw it a couple times in the Opens Invitational, and it is damage, damage, and more damage. They've got 3 Abaddons, 3 Oracles, a Pontifex Amala, and then 2 Inquisitors for the 1-point Logifrigs at the low end. Miz, do you want to run us through the Wormhole Society comp?
Yeah, so Wormhole Society brought also an armor setup with Abaddon, Armageddon, and then Ears, Curse, Nurgle, Pontifex, 2 Falias, and 2 Vexas. So they're gone with the control setup, while Hydra is going to be all full DPS. It's actually quite unlike Hydra, who usually flies control setups, are actually really good at them. So this is going to be fun to see them fly up against the control setup, and already seeing a lot of damage going across the field. This is going to get bloody.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very fast. I think there's a huge amount of damage on the field here, particularly on the Hydra side with those 3 Abaddons. They've all warped in at 0, and they are absolutely melting through Gerbathor in the Abaddon. 3 Abaddons is clearly more powerful than 1. That's pretty obvious. But the Oracle in return of Golnar, clearly these attack battle cruisers, the Oracles do a lot of damage, but they're not very tanky, and they're not particularly far away. The Abaddon is still able to reach them. The Armageddon cap warfare will be useful as well.
Wormhole Society lost the Armageddon, Abaddon, so there's a lot of DPS going down, and Hydra still keeping their Oracles alive. These Oracles are a bit squishy normally, but with a full armor tank, they can...
He's just about holding, but there's split damage as well. Golnar's very, very low armor. He's just about going into hold, but Ferox 2070 has taken some chunks as well, but they haven't got the time for this. They haven't got the time to split damage as this Armageddon of Savandor starts to go down into hull now as well. And that's going to be 2 battleships down for the side of Wormhole Society. With nothing in return, They might just get this Oracle back. They do.
Yeah, splitting damage is a huge mistake for them. They're going to lose so much time. Like, if they had focused it, they could have gotten down faster and maybe gotten the second Oracle as well. And now they lost the 2 big battleships. They are really running out of damage. Their Vexors are getting melted, and that leaves just the Ears to be a really good damage ship.
Yeah, and they've committed so much into control here in this comp with the Armageddon, which is now dead. The Vexors are surely going to have newts in the highs. The Nurgle, I mean, he's probably going to have a newt as well. The Curse, of course, tracking disruptors, newts, etc. They got so much control on the field here, but they just don't have the damage anymore with that single Abaddon gone. And the Oracle of Ferox is actually going to go down. They are going to trade something back. So, I mean, at this point, their only way back into this match would be some form of newt control, being able to shut off the guns. But the problem they face there is there's just so many guns.
Yeah, so one thing about this Hydra setup is that these ships are not meant to live long. Like, it's just meant to do a lot of damage and then survive as long as possible. Like, they only got a Pontifex for links, so don't have strong links. They only have Inquisitors for repairs. So they also really weak repairs. They have these like Tech 1 frigates for repairs. But in return, they get these really strong battleships with strong armor tank, and they're getting 3 of them and 3 of the Oracles. So that's a lot of damage, and we saw how they melted the Wormhole Society Abaddon in no time. Like, I think this is the fastest we might have seen an Abaddon go down in a tournament format. They just focused so much light that the brick just went pop.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this comp from Hydra, it's not going to be like the Apex, the best comp that we see. I think the Shield Kite comp is more likely to fill that sort of role. But what I do like is it's going to utilize they're obviously very high skilled pilots, and it's going to utilize their capacity for good target calling. You know, if you just absolutely pick the right targets from the off and absolutely melt through them in a matter of seconds, the opponent team hasn't really got much time to react. You know, if they make the right call, they can fight you, but if they make the wrong call, they're already out. And in this situation, the Abaddons just absolutely obliterated the 2 opposing battleships. There was so little time where Wormhole Society was actually in the match, where they had their full 10 ships.
Yeah, you can see these Abaddons are barely touched. Like, Wormhole Society are aware that they're bad primary targets, but this just leaves these Abaddons to do whatever they want. And just go around and make sure to apply as much damage as possible on whatever they want. And just look at this. They have lost a couple of ships, but they still have the 3 Abaddons and 1 Oracle, and then the Mauler, and so there's a bit more than 2/3 of the damage still being left, even though they had lost some stuff. So this is just pure damage and tank, and the Falia going down. So at this point, it's just 2 small frigates that can't do anything.
Yeah, I do think this Abaddon comp is I don't think it's the best comp at the moment, but I think it fits nicely into the meta because it's just a pure stat stick. It doesn't really have much control. It doesn't really have much utility. It's got tank on the Abaddons and it's got damage, and it just blasts through you. And that's exactly what's happened here. They've landed on the grid. They've said, he's dead. He's also dead.
So
That's
this is
it.
like a
It's over.
key strategy thing for this tournament, because this tournament is just not just a bunch of isolated matches. It's a lot of matches you have to go through. So you're keeping your good cards on your hand and only showing these weaker comps that are still solid. And with that, we are seeing the last ship of Wormhole Society going down. Like, cut out one head and another one grows. Hail Hydra.